Okay, let's see. Go put a shirt on. Ruth, how's it going?
Good, Stella, how are you?
Good, very good. I went a little long in my meditation today, so usually I'm on like 5-10 minutes early, but
Oh, gee. All good. Nothing wrong with extra meditation.
fair. Very true. I agree with you. I'm not expecting many, but sometimes people pop in 30 minutes in, sometimes an hour in, but
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll probably just go for about an hour today. Let me pop up charts. How have things been, especially with trading? How's everything been?
I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around everything.
Okay.
Still, so yeah, I'm like 10 lessons in or something in your course.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm finding like some of the stuff confusing.
Okay.
So I'm just needing to go back, rewatch some stuff, and that.
What I'd like, if you're down sometime, we can get on like a one-on-one Zoom. I don't know. Oh, it froze for a second. I don't know if you can hear me. Let's see. Let me turn the Wi-Fi off. Hopefully it's not my internet, but we'll see. Looks like I'm good. Share screen. Cool. Wow, silver just shot up. Okay, let's see. Oh, you cut out for a second. Glad you're back. I wanted to say that if you're open to it sometime, I'd love, just especially while like my course, I'm getting it back. It's it's a new thing, and I put a lot of work into it. But there's a lot of things I can tell. Like I need to emphasize or go into a little bit more depth on some videos. So one, if you ever have feedback, let me know. Two, I'm totally down sometime to get on one-on-one Zoom, and just anything that's confusing, like we can just run through it. So, oh, you're muted right now. There you go.
Sorry, I said that would be amazing.
Okay.
That would be great. I'd really, yeah, I think I'd really benefit from that. So.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I think that maybe, what time is it there right now?
10.
Okay.
PM.
Cool. Honestly, I think I have some friends in Sydney, so I think you're about, is At the same time, yeah.
They're like 2 hours ahead.
2 hours. Okay, maybe not. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually we connect either my morning or their night, some or opposite.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Okay, well, cool. Well, I am currently looking at Ethereum. It's looking really, really good. Ethereum is, yeah, obviously you've heard of Ethereum, but one thing that's happened recently is in like the last 5 days or so, is that the funding rates for major exchanges have, so it costs money, obviously, every time we open a trade anywhere, it costs like, something that's we don't really notice, but it does cost money. And all the exchanges, the major exchanges for crypto have gone negative in their funding. So what that means is basically you're getting paid to buy right now on these exchanges.
Wow.
So
Okay.
last time that happened was when Bitcoin was testing. Last time that happened, I should say, noticeably, was when Bitcoin was testing 10,000, way down here. I don't know, around this level. Funding went negative right here, and that was in September and October of this last year. So, and then look what happened after. So,
is that generally something that happens when it does that, or?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, I find it's not like it's usually during strong markets, and funding rates don't always predict things, but they definitely can. So usually they'll do that. Exchanges will do that if they have too many people on the other side. So in this case, they've had too many people attempting to short Ethereum or to sell it. And so, yeah, to kind of even things out. And a lot of people have been selling because this area is the all-time high of 2011. We've crossed it a couple of times, but I think it was like 14. And let's find out exactly. So I'm insanely bullish on Ethereum because I'll show you exactly why. Bullish meaning I am anticipating it to skyrocket. Okay, so got that marked. Yeah, so that was the all-time high in 2011. So we crossed it a little bit over here, but definitely back here a few days ago. That was, I want to say Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. And now, usually when that happens, that was resistance. So I don't know if you watched the support and resistance video, but clearly back in
I did, yeah.
Okay. So we hit that level, and we didn't have any history before to tell us that was a resistance level, but now we have that level from 2011. I'm sorry, I keep saying 2011, but I mean 2017.
Okay.
2011 is when I trade a lot of silver and gold, and that's when the major bull run of silver and gold, the last one was. So, but since we tested that level, we could anticipate, okay, this probably could be rejection. This could probably be resistance here, and it would be smart to short. However, let's look at what happened when Bitcoin tested its all-time high from 2017. Actually, it's right there. It's that blue line already drawn, and we touched it. We bounced down, and then we shot up. So to zoom way out, that's what happened. So I am looking at that, but on Ethereum now. So when we had that little bit of a dip, I anticipate that's happening now. If we reclaim, so another big pattern to watch for is engulfing candles. So this is a daily, and definitely the daily or the higher time frame candlesticks are going to be a lot more powerful in being able to predict what's going to happen next. So we can have support and resistance on lower time frames, lower time frames, but on higher time frames, it's going to make a lot more sense. They're going to follow, or the price will follow those a lot better. So on that note, with engulfing candlesticks, I would say that we'll probably start running up if we can retake this yesterday's bearish daily. it's looking like it on the lower time frames, like it's pretty likely that it will happen. However, anything can happen, especially in crypto. So
Sure.
um,
Yeah.
looks like we're basically getting close to that level. This would be low time frame resistance. So another thing to look at for candles when we're trading on the lower time frames, when we're looking at 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour candles, the daily candle levels can be really, really good to help us, I guess, to see where the price might move up and down to. So to make it more clear what I'm saying, yesterday's daily candle, I'm going to draw on the top of the body a line. Actually, let me draw one that's different than the other. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to draw a line there, and then I'm going to draw a line also on the bottom. Let's do the wicks, because the wicks will show us. It'll be different. Okay, so on the daily, I drew those levels based off of the high and the low of yesterday. And if we go to the 1 hour, it's a lot easier to see that that's both the resistance level and support level that we should watch for. So in this case, I would say kind of a no trade zone for me until we break one of them. And then really when we break the upper level, I would want to wait to see what happens when we test the all-time high again. So clearly when we did that, we broke above it, but we didn't stay above it. So, and then adversely, if we come down and we break this lower level, well, and then actually let's extend this out, because we can see that even though from yesterday's daily, this was that wick on the daily for yesterday, that was also a level back over here. And we're looking at the hourly chart. So what I would say is potentially that's going to be strong support. But if we break below this, then that would be a good opportunity to short sell, and that we're going to most likely make newer lows, at least locally. So I want to see what this looks like on the daily. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like when we're looking at the daily chart, it doesn't look like much. But the lower time frame, it's a lot different, where we could see we tested it a couple times on the hourly. So yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense. On these live streams though, what I will usually do is I'm just analyzing, because I'm personally just watching closely and anticipating.
Yeah, cool. You do your thing. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm super green at all of this, dude. So
yeah,
I'm still learning all the terminology and all that stuff. So some stuff might go over my head, which is fine. Like I think just the more I kind of consume information, and like I'll get it
100%
eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah, it takes some time to focus, but yeah, well, cool. Sweet. I see Brian's on. Yeah, so usually what I'll do in these live streams is trade Forex. I'll shoot for, like, we do a lot of gold, silver trades, currency trades, but yeah, I'm just so excited for Ethereum. I'm waiting, just anticipating for that breakout. So let's see.
Will you keep us posted, like on socials?
Yeah, so I've been just like wrapping up the course. Like I said, fully launches on Monday, so I've just been like tying everything together. As soon as that's done, I actually have a Discord group that I post to at times, but it's not, I'm gonna switch platforms. So as soon as that's done, everybody that's bought the course, I haven't told everyone yet, but I'm telling you now. And Brian can hear this too. I see Brian's in here, but you guys and others will get access to that group. I'll probably just let you stay in that group forever. And then I'm just going to post trade calls there, and that's where I'll host the live streams and stuff. Because while I've just got all this time going into the course, when I have all that time back, I'll have so much more time to just analyze charts and post calls and go over things. So yeah.
Awesome. Do you know what platform you're going to?
I'm leaning towards Telegram right now, but I'm like
Okay.
so open to suggestions on that. I don't really agree with Facebook anymore, and I mean Instagram is like I use Instagram a lot, so it's the same thing. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I add Telegram, but I'm kind of open on that. We'll see if something good comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Silver just had a really big run, silver and gold, just in the last like 30, 40 minutes. So my main currencies I trade now on my trading view here, I have a ton of symbols here, a ton of pairs. And
Mhm.
only because a lot of people I coach just like trade different things, and I'm always looking at different things for them. Personally, I like to just stick to a few. So usually I'm trading GJ, which is the British pound versus the Japanese yen, euro odds, so euro versus Australian dollar, and then silver or gold. And when we stick to specific ones, so it's the whole jack of all trades, master of none type of deal. Every currency has their own emotions. Every pair
Mhm.
has their own emotions, and so by sticking to just a couple things, we're able to, start to see those individual patterns in each pair. So
Is
um,
there a reason specifically why you've got those three main ones?
Um, GJ moves a lot, and I don't know why, but it's always moving. It always provides good opportunity. Nearly every live stream, nearly every morning. So like just here, it is good to start a little earlier if we can. But we had this movement, which is if we would have caught that, like I could totally see this trade bounce off of support here, and then
Yeah.
we retested and we're above this red moving average, but we can measure that out. That's a 48 pip move, which if, trading your lot size or your position size is really just what calculates what that 48 pips is worth. So pips are just counting the fractions of, the currency. So
Mhm.
in this case, it's like what this one over here would be the pip. So I don't know what they're called. Like in the U.S., we call them cents. I don't know what they call them in Japan. A fraction of a yen. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So if you had let's say you traded with a one lot, your position size was one lot. That's $1 a pip. So that could be a quick $50 that you made in just short time. So then imagine
Cool.
if you could do 10 if you did a 10 lot size. So now you're at I'm
Mm.
sorry, one lot is $10 a pip. So that would be $500 US.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So
Cool.
anyway, so with pips and with trading, one thing I got to emphasize that I will add into the course, but I like to calculate my trades in pips because if we get focused on the dollar amount or the percentage amount, um, it's kind of easy to get blinded. Uh, us humans, we have individually our own understanding of money and like what's a lot of money, what's not a lot of money, and by slowly dissolving those subconscious programming or ideas of money, we can, um, yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, basically. So by
Yeah.
counting pips, we get in that habit of like, okay, it doesn't matter if I'm trading with a $1,000 account or $100,000 account. The end goal is just to make pips. If you can make 30 to 50 pips, in a day or in a couple days on $1,000 account, you can do it on $100,000 account. It's all the same. But let's see if
Mm.
we can find some trades here. Oops. Okay. So when scalping, I'm looking for strong movement, which we just got here, and a few things. We got silver and gold. I'm actually curious to see. This is a forexfactory.com is a site that will tell you what type of news is going on. So looks like we just missed it, but US dollar had something, GDP going on. A lot of stuff with the US dollar today. So might be good. And a few things with the Japanese yen later, but might be good to look at US dollar pairs. Let's look at UJ. Yeah, look at that. Strong movement. Honestly, this could be a buy pretty shortly. So let's see, 15-minute. Yeah, higher time frame, not so much. Okay, 15. I don't see a trade right here. What do I want to see? Okay, so just to kind of analyze what I see here going on. So we're on the US dollar versus Japanese yen, which I came to because it looks like there's both US dollar and Japanese yen news. So when that happens, there's more volatility. And when scalping, so trading on short term, you want that movement, that volatility. So what I see here is if I go to the higher time frame, so in this case, a higher time frame would be hour or 4 hour. We were clearly in an uptrend. I'm going to be a little weary though because we're approaching this resistance line that I can't tell you when I drew. Okay, so it looks like that was, the most recent time would have been from December for that one. So we're approaching and we had this strong wick right here. So that tells me that there was a lot of selling pressure. We attempted to push the price up and then the price was pushed back down. So, between the wick and then also between or with the Bollinger Band here with us bouncing off of the band, that to me is a bearish signal. However, this current candle that's running up, go back to the hour. So far, looks like it could be bullish. However, there's 37 minutes in this candle, so we never make a decision on the candle while it's still open. Going down to the 15-minute now, I see that wick and that strong candle, it printed a really, really strong bearish candle. So what basically this to me is same thing for short term, no trade zone. What I want to do though, I'm going to go down to the 5-minute. What I want to see to enter potentially along, maybe to go up to the actual resistance line. Let me see if that would even be a good trade. Yeah, that's such a small trade. I probably wouldn't mess with that. Well, in this case, then I'd potentially be open to a short, but very like neutral. Like as you can see, I'm like, oh, maybe long, maybe so. But I'm super neutral because of that movement and how close we are to that resistance line. So on the higher time frame, it looks like we're kind of coming to a peak, but it also could be a fake out. So what I would want to see is for us to go downward and to enter short. I would want us to break this wick here. Or see, just like we had a bounce on the 1 hour off of the top of this band with the wick, I would want to see that on this middle red band. If we can see a couple of those, which it looks like to me, we're weakening. So strong bearish movement. And then we did have this one strong bullish candle, but if we, if we compare this to this bearish movement, it's weaker. Definitely strong though, like because of this, I don't want to get into a sell position. But then moving forward, this next candle here is bearish, not nearly as strong as, as powerful as this bullish one was. But we can see that these candlesticks here are weakening. And how do we know that they're weakening? Well, the bodies are small and we just got a decently strong wick. So this also, support and resistance. I was with Ruth, at least we were talking a bit ago about the daily levels, and know that those patterns, any patterns that we learn on any time frame, are applicable to any other time frame. So having said that, on the daily, we plotted these levels, the top and the bottom of the candle, and then went down to the lower time frame to see. But we can clearly see that when we came down, we came back up. That level right there is resistance because, and we could see that it was resistance again because the last candle that just printed, even though this is just a 5 minute, so it's not like a strong level, but that could potentially be where we drop down from here. So if we get a close under this line, under this red moving average, and showing that this is resistance, that could potentially be a good quick scalp. That we could plan at least for the bottom of the channel. It's not very many pips, but the only reason I would want to make that trade is for the potential higher downside. But we'll see. We're still kind of in an uptrend, so I'm not liking UJ. I'm gonna set an alert. I'm gonna move this one up to, so that if we start to break downward, we can watch. Come on, get on my way, Zoom. See. Nicholas, good morning, my man. Okay, let's see, GJ. Cool. One thing I see with GJ, let's see why this yellow line is drawn. Okay, yellow line is drawn because that was the high back in August. And we broke above it pretty clearly. GJ looks super, super bullish. Long term, so let's see the daily. Yeah, looking pretty bullish. Did we close on the 4 hour? No, we just broke above. Did we close on the 1 hour? Not yet. 30-minute, we're about to. Okay, so common pattern. This was a high back in August, this yellow line. And so now that we've broken above, we were ranging for a bit. We tested it. I'm looking at the 30-minute chart now. We tested it once, came down. Now we had a lot stronger of a break above. And looks like we have potentially some strength for continuation. So looking on the daily with the Bollinger Bands here, we can see how the bands are looking. They're spreading apart, this green line and this green line. And when they're going away from each other, that is a strong sign of continuation, whichever way that the price is going. So, it can also be in a bearish situation where it's fine. Like right here, we can see they started to go apart. We were already moving down, and then here and here, they started to move apart, and we had continuation of the bearish trend. So I'm seeing that potentially this is on the daily of the, of the continuation of the upward trend. So moving in, we just broke above. We haven't had a strong close yet. Like 30-minute is like minimum what we want to see, that we're 1 minute away from this 30-minute close. And not only are we going to close above this yellow line, which is that high from August, but we're going to close above the last time we came above it. Probably. We still have 50 seconds, so anything can happen. But that's powerful. That means that we have made a new high. And what I would want to see, same thing, it's not an entry point for me, but what I want to see is a retest. So it was resistance, clearly, here because we didn't stay above it. And then back in August, because that's the whole reason we drew it. See, we hit that level, we bounced down. Wait, yep. UJ, we'll check that in a second. In August, we bounced down and we headed downwards. So now that we've broken above, we made that new high. What usually will happen is you'll get a retest. And what a retest is the price testing whether that has flipped from resistance to support. So my buy signal ideally would be on the 5 or the 15-minute, but I want to get just how down here we bounced off of this level. And I mean, we could see a retest actually, I'm sure. First time we broke above. Okay, yeah, perfect. So I'm on a 5 minute. So just to show what I'm looking for now is we broke above this blue level here and we retested it a couple times. Now, support and resistance is a range. So I'm going to say that every time. It's a range. It's never an exact. It's a range. It's a range. But this right here is this tested that range. Price came up, broke above, and came back down. And we can see by this wick that there was buying pressure. So that means that there's demand down here now. Where it was there, you know, in the past, there was supply. Like right here, we can see it bounce down, even though it didn't bounce very far down. And then even before that, the reason why the line was drawn, we bounced down before. But we want to see a retest to just show that, okay, this has flipped from resistance to support and is going to give strength now to support the price upward. So that is what I want to see now. So I'm not going to enter yet. I always wait for, you know, a solid entry. It looks like it could just continue running, but and it's very possible, and we could miss the trade if it does, but that's okay. Like there's a million other trades. So same thing. I'm going to set an alert so that we can watch to see if that retest happens. Maybe move that up a little bit. Okay, let's go back and check GJ or UJ, I should say. Boom, look at that, hit it down. So I would have, see personally, we had that 5-minute close a bit ago. I still wouldn't have entered on that. However, if we close like this, it could be a good entry. Yeah. On the 15-minute, we have a while, but if we close below this red line, we have 12 minutes, I should say. Closing below the red line, I will jump in. And we could probably even front run it on the 5-minute. Yeah, I'd want to say close below this body. And I'm weary. Like I feel my heart and soul that we're gonna drop pretty hard, but still locally on 5-minute we had a higher low. So we're technically in a short-term uptrend, but I don't think it's gonna last. Let's see if we can find something. Everything, not everything, but a lot of things moved right before we hopped on. So good though, might mean that we'll just jump in on a retest. Ooh, US dollar versus Canadian dollar. There's another beautiful example of another retest where we broke down below this line. We had strong wicks showing. Oh, I wish I would have seen that 5 minutes ago. It's okay, that means our trade's coming. Okay, this is British pound. Looks like we might be heading up. This is where normally, not normally, in the past, when I was learning still, FOMO would set in. FOMO, fear of missing out. So, you know, jump in a trade and because like, oh, it's running, I don't want to miss out. But the best thing we can do as traders, honestly, most of the time, is sit on our hands and just wait. Just be patient because I'd rather go through the day. I'd rather go through this live stream and just be talking and miss the trade, or like not have made any trade, than I would jump in a trade due to fear of missing out and have it go the opposite way and lose money. Always, always, always. So cryptocurrency is going to be as you guys get into trading and trading more consistently, cryptocurrency is going to be the biggest battle for sure because of it's literally going to change our world. It's already started, and you know, you as a trader, we want to get in when it's running, and you know, when it's not, obviously get out. But sometimes it just starts without you. Let's see on 1 minute. Ooh, okay. Scan. Okay, I'm gonna decide one chart just to focus on. We can see which one's gonna come next. Which one I think is gonna be the best option. Say G. Ooh. We might get a good little scalp short, maybe. I want to fight the trend. It's the higher time frame. No, I don't feel good about that either. GJ. Honestly, since silver and gold are running, I'm just gonna watch because we'll probably get some more. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm gonna just watch gold and I'm gonna set an alert on GJ here. It's just running up without it, so we'll just go back and forth. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of waiting. So let me just I'll analyze a bit to show you guys what I would see, what I do see in gold, and how could we potentially have caught that movement earlier, like 30 minutes to an hour ago. Let's see. So I don't have, so I was recording a video yesterday. I don't have support and resistance drawn on gold right now, but first things first, always, make sure you have your support and resistance drawn. But when I'm looking at gold on the daily now, we're in a downtrend. And let me draw a trend line just to show you. I'm pretty clear that we can see this is our high back in August. And then the highs got lower and kept getting lower until just recently. So we can connect some of the tops. I would say maybe even this here. Another potential trend would have been to connect these ones. Yeah, see, but even those are kind of difficult because you got some crazy price action. Let's connect these though to see. Looks a little better. Yeah, we do get some weird movement in gold for sure. But here's what I see. So we're in the downtrend, and although I drew this line, we wouldn't be able to draw this line until we got these three levels here where they connected. So trend lines are really good to help us to see the picture, overall picture of what's going on. And yeah, we can see based off of these trend lines, we were definitely a downtrend after a strong uptrend, and we'll get some anomalies sometimes. So of course we wouldn't have been able to draw this line, this upper line, until we got the second level, which was in November. Yeah, so basically you can use trend lines as support and resistance, because when we find those lines or those levels that the price has played with multiple times, yeah, they'll probably play with it again in the future. So why, like I said, I draw this line here because the top line, because of the top in August, the top in November, and you can clearly see that we had another top in December that we didn't stay below. But this other line, this lower line, we could have drawn, like I said, because of these three levels here. And if we look in the past, it also just short term, we broke above and it kind of used that as support for like one candle. then we broke down below. Just we can see that because of the wick. So draw, having these drawn out, and then if we see clearly down now or down here closer to now, we used it as support as well. Now, logically, we can also see that we have basically switched trends. So I see a head and shoulders pattern, an inverted head and shoulders. That's going to be a pattern released in the rest of the course. On Monday, where's my circle tool? No, I know it's in here. Whatever, I'll draw an arrow. Okay, so head and shoulders. See a head and a shoulder and kind of another shoulder. Let me draw a line to show you a little bit better. Horizontal ray. Boom. Oh, no, that was the wrong one. Horizontal line. And since I got so many lines here, let's change the color, make it more clear. Okay, shoulder, head and shoulders. So when it's inverted like this, so here's the head, here's basically a little shoulder, here's another shoulder. You can see this on the opposite, in the opposite direction too, where we almost, if we get the price bouncing off of this level, we could have potentially a shoulder here, head, and then we have to get the price to come up and bounce downward. But that is a sign of a reversal, almost always. So this arrow's kind of pointing off, but anyways, the price, the shoulders will almost, you'll see them match up, and you'll only really see it when you've made a new, your head, which in this case, since it's inverted, you've made your new low, and then the price comes up and you kind of make a new higher low. And so you'll line that up with the previous level. And then usually that's a sign of reversal, which you see once we got that price came up above this level where the last shoulder was, created that second shoulder. And so we didn't know that it was a shoulder until we got the bounce upward, and you can see here it went up. So let me delete these arrows. So anyways, I'm kind of going on a whole long-term or a long explanation, long form explanation of what I see, but because we see that head and shoulders, to me, that's a strong signal that we're reversing. Also, fundamentally, with Biden becoming president officially, I believe that there will be more stimulus in the US. So this being gold, like what happens when, stimulus is sent out to everybody? It's just inflation is all it is. They're just, printing US dollars out of nothing. And that will cause many things to increase. Now, stimulation or the stimulus has not been announced yet, but I do anticipate it, whether it's directly to citizens or bailing companies out. Either way, they're going to print more dollars. So fundamentally, like we could already anticipate going up. And then we broke even the tops, like this upper line, we broke above that. We didn't stay above, but that's just showing that this level is now, it's weak. And we also, when we broke above and we came back down, we created a new higher low. So here's a low. Remember we were in a downtrend. We know that it was a downtrend because of lower lows and lower highs. And now we've switched that trend up. So we're creating higher lows, and I anticipate a higher high now. So definitely feeling really bullish about gold. I'm going to delete this line now that you guys understand what I was saying. We are below this red moving average on the daily. So really until we break up above that, I'm not going to be like swing bullish, meaning like, over a few days or so. But short term, you can see that bounce like clearly, we're definitely heading upward. Okay, so that was a long way of explaining kind of what's happening, so then we can go down to the lower time frame and see what's popping off and see where we would make a decision. Pause really quick. I want to check GJ, see what it's up to. Look at those shenanigans. We missed out, but that's okay. Wouldn't have missed out if we were watching them 1 minute, but I like to look at 5 minutes. Okay. Anyways, back to gold. Back to gold. And what I want to see, same thing. We drew this support resistance line. I want to see a retest. And we don't necessarily need to always get a retest of the support resistance lines, but minimum get a retest of this moving average. So moving averages, especially in Bollinger Bands, like you can see how often, here we had a retest, broke above it, came down, retest, and we went up. And let's find more. It works the opposite way too. Broke below, came back up, retested, went a little bit lower. Yeah, a lot more powerful on the higher time frames though, of course, but I'm scalping, so. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet. So we'll just keep kind of hanging out. Let's see, a lot of opportunity today. If I was just at it 15, 20 minutes before, we would have popped off and already made our trades for the day. Well, that's A-okay. There's literally always opportunity. Like, there's opportunity forever. Trading is a long-term game. The longer you stay in the game, the better you will do. What happened? Really? Wait, like Reddit?
They don't have to do it.
What are you saying? Like it was on Reddit to do that again?
No, they just, I think, I don't know, maybe it like follows or, I don't know, but it just expects you to do that. I heard about it.
Okay, yeah, that means Reddit. All right, we're gonna pause. I don't trade stocks, and really, the reason I don't trade stocks because it's all like, yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened to GameStop yesterday, but let's check. Apparently, AMC is supposed to happen. Oh, it did. It already started, and they halted it.
Yep, they stopped it.
Wow.
And no other platforms are doing that, so that's why.
No other platforms are stopping it.
Yeah, because they don't have to. That's the thing. So probably they don't want to happen because their own assets.
Let me show you guys what happened to GameStop in case you missed the news. This was yesterday. It went from, well, I guess in the last 2 days, but yesterday went from, oh, I'm looking at a weekly. Yeah, I guess in the last 2 days went from like $60, $40 up to, it's up to $400 right now. Crazy. Some people got into like $13. And it's all because there's this hedge fund that had worth like, I don't know, a few billion, 6 billion, something like that. And they were in this short and like, anticipating the price to go down. And a bunch of people got together on Reddit and were just like, hey, let's pump up GameStop stock. And they did. And they got that hedge fund. I don't think they completely lost all their money, but they lost like over $2 billion. And so apparently they're supposed to, people are doing that with AMC, and my girlfriend just said Robinhood. They did that all through Robinhood, by the way. Most of that volume was through Robinhood. It looks like they're doing that on AMC. So could be a good ride. But anyways, I don't trade stocks because of stuff like that. Like it's just so easy to, anything can happen. Like I'm a pattern trader, and like that's how I stay consistent. When you get into this stuff looking for that like one hit, which it's possible. Like you could get in and look at this, down 2 days ago, down to like $2, $2.50, right? And we're up to like 13, topped off at like 20, so it's like 10x your money. So obviously if you could get in on this, great, like more power to you. But that's gambling, straight up gambling. So and I'm not a gambler. Like I look for patterns, and in the end there's only a 50-50 chance. So I guess technically it is sort of gambling, but I like to make educated decisions. That's how I stay in the game long term. Because just as easily as you get those runs, you know, that go up, you can get the opposite. So, but it's pretty tight. Like crypto does the same thing. And so I do invest in some crypto coins where I believe that just based off of fundamentals, what they're going to do, like will probably 10, 20x my money in there over the course of the next year. But I'm not like actively trading. It's just like I put money in there and I anticipate or I expect to never see anything from it. And I look at that money as if it's gone. And then if something comes out of it, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna go down to 1 minute because I believe that we could probably find a good trade. Right quick. Well, let's see. Ooh, okay. So we were looking at this earlier. I think this is our trade coming up. Yeah, it looks really good actually. This is US dollar versus Japanese yen. What do I see? Well, we hit that resistance, bounced down pretty hard. Even though we made a new higher low, so far price action's weak. And to me, this is like a total change in the pace in the price action. So if we were going to continue upward, we would have. So, but we didn't. We bounced down and we're continuing to go down. Yeah, look at those wicks. So 15-minute, this bounce, it looks like, you know, we had a lot of demand. If we go back down to 5 minute, yeah, a lot of people bought up and there's a bounce off the Bollinger, the bottom Bollinger Band here. But this whole bend action, you know, really, unless we can break and finish above this level now, I don't see it going long. So I'm gonna wait for, let's see what it looks like on the 1 minute. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna see how this 5 minute candle closes in like 2 minutes. And I actually believe this will be our trade. And let's plan it out. So we're gonna wait for confirmation beforehand. I'm gonna plan it out. So here in trading view tools on the left side, there's a ruler, which you use to measure pips. So you can see measuring this movement, we have 19 pips. But if you go 2 above that, this is how I will plan out trades. So you got a long position, short position. We're gonna enter short, most likely. And so looks like it's already starting to head down. But let's say we enter here. I'm not entering, I'm waiting for confirmation. So don't enter this trade. But my stop loss is gonna be above. My stop loss is gonna be at a point where my trade is null and void, where my idea is null and void. And so for that to happen, let's go back to the 5 minute. For my trade to be null and void, we have to close above that resistance line. And so we had that wick, you know, but support and resistance is a range, remember? So I want to put it above that wick just a little bit. So you can see we're kind of lined up just a bit above to give it some room. And then my target, yeah, look at long term on the 30 minute, strong bearish, and then this bullish candle couldn't keep up. It tested and it bounced off the middle. So I totally think we're gonna move down and make a new low. But minimum, what I'm gonna plan for is just above this low. And so say like right there. And that's actually not a very good risk to reward ratio. So let's see if we can make it look prettier at all. Risk to reward ratio. You see when I highlight over this tool, it's a 1 point. Get rid of that. It's dot. No, I guess we can't really get rid of them. Oops. Okay, see it's a 1.07. I don't like to make trades unless it's at least a 1.5. What that means is that equivalent, you know, if I make the trade and I'm risking 1% on this trade, that means if I lose, I'm going to lose 1%. But if I win, I'm going to make 1.5%. So it's just kind of another way in our trading plan that we can help to solidify our odds. So I do think we're going to make new lows, but just off of like the minimum target. I don't know. Oh, we just had that 5-minute close. I'm actually gonna jump in right now because this looks really good. So shorting US dollar, Japanese yen, even though the risk to reward isn't perfect because it looks juicy. Okay, I'm gonna sell. Okay, let me move this down. And I am gonna move my stop loss above this last candle because now we've made a new lower high. So that will help the risk to reward a bit. See, we're now at a 1.3. I'm not saying you should manipulate your box to make your risk to reward look good, but I do think we'll go lower. So I'm okay with this, and the price action just looks good. I'm already in profit a little bit. So yeah, stop loss at, if you're copying me, stop loss at 104.376. And then take profit. I'm keeping it open because we're here watching it. So I'm gonna get rid of this reminder here. And as soon as I have a chance to take money off the table, as a scalper, that's what I do. Like, and what that means is when we get a candle that closes, that I can move my stop loss down to where my stop loss is in profit. That's what I'm gonna do. Because more importantly than, actually way more importantly, like you can't really compare how important it is. Obviously, with trading, it's like, yeah, the goal is to make some money, but if you can't protect the money that you make, if you're not practicing good risk management, it doesn't matter how much you make because you're just going to lose it. So, yeah, risk management. As soon as you have a chance to take money off the table, do it. Definitely, definitely. And that takes time to kind of know, okay, when should I move my stuff down? And it's really just depends on your trading technique and trading style. But yeah, definitely. So just to clarify, why did I jump in? Well, this last 5-minute close, strong bearish signal, and we had basically we broke down and then we retested. Not really any specific level. I mean, this is kind of a level that we can see from back here as well. But to me, we just came up and we kind of retested this moving average, and it was a little above it on the 5-minute, but we broke down, and the whole price action is kind of changing and switching up. We're below the line now, so when we're above the moving average, that's bullish. Below, bearish. And we are looking at the 5-minute. We still have some downward movement to really solidify on the 15, but we'll see. Hopefully, we don't get stopped out on this one, but it's possible. Honestly, like even if we were to get stopped out on this trade, I am confident it will still go down. Like very, very confident. Don't do it. Might get hit. Looks like we might. Last minute, save us. Gonna save us? I believe in it. Yeah, and this is still like a really good trade. Well, no matter what happens, we got this high, and then we got a lower high so far, and we definitely have some resistance off of it. So even if we were to lose this trade, it's not a trade that I can say, okay, let's analyze what did we do wrong. Nothing. Like this is a good trade, definitely. See where we're at. I love it. As long as we finish below, this body closes below the body of the previous, like the body's smaller. That's beautiful sign. Oh, we did, but we bounced. Let's see what happens. Turn this alarm off. Ah, it's looking good. to me, this is what's called distribution. What that means is whatever institution that has a lot of stake in this case would be, they had it in the US dollar. Looks like they're trading it over to the Japanese yen. Wait, the yen's going down. So yeah, so the value of the yen. Yeah, okay, so the value of US dollar is going down. I confused myself for a second, but whatever big institution has a huge stake in this, when you see like after a downward movement, you can kind of start to see, okay, it looks like we're changing momentum here, we're changing pace. This zigzag price is distribution. They're trying to they push the price down, sell a little bit, and then they'll put their own buy orders in to make retail traders, people like ourselves, but we're smart, we see it. So other retail traders, newer ones, to believe that the price is going to bounce upward. And so all these retail traders, after the bank made some buys, the retail traders will buy and push the volume up, and then the bank will sell more. Because the whole goal is to get their, if they were to sell all of their volume, you know, they know that the price is going to go down. If they were to sell all their volume at once, the price would just tank, right? So by selling a little bit, then pushing the price up, they sell a little bit more. They're getting their cost average at a good level before the price goes down. And then there's also the opposite called accumulation. And that's just at the bottom where they're anticipating the price to go up and they're trying to get that low, you know, as low of a price as possible. So to me, this looks like really short-term distribution or distribution. So these 15-minute candles look kind of crazy. Your alarm went off. I snoozed it.
Oh, did you read it?
We'll pretend now. I was thinking that maybe you're gonna write a note to Emmy or something. Yeah, this might take a bit to play out, but this is like so obvious to me. In the meantime, because I forgot yesterday, but I remember today, conscious language. I don't know if I might have mentioned this to Brian, but I don't even know if I mentioned it to Brian. I am working to be more conscious in all the words I say, everything, because we're constantly manifesting. Words, everything we do everything's energy and vibration. So when we speak, we're putting out vibrations that we're going to attract back into our lives. One strong one. We tend to say, if we speak English, good morning. And if you think about it, like what's morning? Like morning is a sad thing to do. MOURNING. So we're kind of setting ourselves up to subconsciously not be in as positive of a mood. Maybe that's why mornings are so hard for some people. Say good morning. You're already putting yourself in a bad headspace. Yeah, so grand rising is a good way to replace that. That's what we've been doing in our household, working at it. You might have heard me say overstand instead of understand. There's also understand. I understand this. Yeah. What else? Oh, my favorite thing to say to everyone all the time was blessings, but I feel like it. My girlfriend pointed this out to me. That it sounds like be less, blessing, right? So, love and light, prosperity, abundance, ascension, whatever. We're gonna switch it up. But there's so many. I've been like looking to analyze days. Like, okay, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. I don't know. What do they all mean? So much ingrained. I really believe that those who are losing power in the world, that have had a lot of power with a lot of people, they set up a lot of people for not failure necessarily, but a difficult time with choosing the words that were popular to say. Yeah. But we're shifting so quickly. Like this world is shifting so quickly. Yeah. I have a 13-year-old sister that talks to me about shadow work and crystals and um, lucid dreaming, astral projection. Like I didn't know what astral projection was till I was probably like 19 or something, 20. So it's
The
cool.
kids of the future, man.
It's crazy, dude.
13 years old, already talking about like shadow work.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
wild.
It's intense. Like it's so cool. She's got like her own little shadow work journal that she's going through.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Like when I was
Love to see
13, I was still going through the stuff that I'm doing shadow work on now. You know, it's like
Yeah, right.
it's so cool. So
Yeah, this whole GameStop, I've been watching that pretty closely. Like I didn't get in on anything, but I've been watching it all go down, and it's ridiculous. I woke up at like 5 a.m. just to like check out like everything that was happening on like WSB on Wall Street Bets. So many, dude. Robinhood is, I don't know that there's a future for that company. Like having them
Right.
shut down trading for those specific stocks that Wall Street Bets was talking about. But
Yeah, dude, and to me that's
Anyways,
big. Like
it is.
honestly, there's nothing illegal about it. Really. Like I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe pump and dump is kind of illegal, but I don't know though. I don't know. To me, it's just like
Do you mean there's nothing illegal about like stopping trading on
no.
stocks? Or are you talking about what WSB did?
Yeah, what WSB did. I don't
Well,
think.
what retail traders did, I guess. Wall Street Bets was just
Yeah.
a conduit for that.
Right. Like I don't know, man. To me, CNBC Money is like a big thing in the stock market that people watch that channel, and they're talking mad shit on Wall Street Bets, and it's like, okay, you're clearly like biased, like you clearly have some friends in with this hedge fund or with these big hedge funds, like, or else you wouldn't be saying anything because it's so comical. And so to me, I read this really cool post in the Wall Street Bet, so it was like keep going, like this is your time, like talking to all the people that were in, all the retail traders, and then just saying like, CNBC Money or the hedge fund owners, if you guys are watching this, like you get bailed out. Like if you make a mistake, you get bailed out. Like us, if we lose our money, like we're starting from the ground up. So now you get to taste what it's like. And to me, like it's just a sign of the times. Like all these protests, all this other stuff, like it's showing up everywhere. Like the populations, we're in that stick it to the man.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw this super funny Twitter post that said Reddit users buy a stock equals manipulation, and then government prints $4 trillion for Wall Street banking.
Right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Definitely.
So yeah, man, it's backwards. It's cool though. We're realizing our power finally.
Yep. It's just so interesting to see that, like, oh, people realize that they actually have some power, and then like institutions immediately counteract anything that they're doing.
Dude. It's
hilarious. Like just to witness it and be aware of what's happening. But
cousin's beeping. I think too that where was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna point out that the hedge fund too that like was struggling because of GameStop. Like they got a bailout of $2 billion from their parent, like a parent company, like pretty quickly. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy. It's keeping hedge fund managers on their toes now, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So curious. So interesting. I want to see what AMC's up to now. Okay. It's gone down a bit. Well, look, obviously, since Robinhood closed it down, I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna search AMC if it comes up.
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like that was my plan being up so early. I was gonna hop on there and
Jump
throw
in,
some into
dude.
AMC.
I might honestly just throw $1,000 or something at something and see what
Yeah,
happens.
just see what happens. I've got a buddy that made a few grand just yesterday, putting some into AMC and then another in a company called Naked, NAKD is the
Okay.
symbol. And when I asked him like, okay, like why did you? Because I didn't know that Naked, I hadn't heard of Naked before. I didn't realize it was part of this WSB stuff.
I don't know.
I was like, okay, like what's the company? Like, what is the company? And like, why is it a buy? And he was like, oh yeah, it's the Naked, the Naked Juice company, like
Yeah.
Naked Juice. That's what he told me it was. And I looked it up, but I was like, bro, it's a clothing brand from Auckland, New Zealand. It's not even, he was like,
You didn't
whatever.
even
Like,
know.
I'm like, are you serious? Are you for real right now?
Oh man,
So
that's
yeah.
funny. That's funny. And that's the stock market, dude. Like that, like Tesla, it just Elon Musk tweets and then it goes up. It's all the same. Yeah, dude. It's too much for me.
Bro, I love Elon Musk though, man.
Same.
Like he's one of a kind.
Yeah,
And I love he's just got like a cult following. People that are just diehard Elon Musk fans till the
I
end.
know.
Whatever he does, like they'll invest in, they'll support him.
And anytime that he needs to like raise money, like the last thing he came out with the Tesla tequila, and they raised like I don't know, it was like $100-something million.
Oh my god. I
You know?
didn't even know that.
Yeah, dude. Like they sold the flamethrowers, and then they
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Is that all through the Boring Company?
Well, the flamethrowers were through the Boring Company, but the Tesla tequila was through Tesla, and
Okay.
so like that's the only thing I can think of if they're not, releasing those products to sell consistently. It's just like a limited thing. Like that's like obviously fundraising. So
Oh, 100%.
yeah, it's genius because of that cult following, like you said, dude. It's yeah.
If you've got the audience, right?
So this trade's running out like really slow. Just an update really quick, but I want to move my target down, honestly. Like,
Are there any trades you've made recently that were just like solid? Like any currencies, whether it's the silver or do you keep a pretty close eye on Ethereum?
yeah, I have been lately. So like I have a lot. You can consider it a trade, but I have a lot bought into Ethereum right now. Just waiting. I have some extra money to buy if we go lower. Oh, that's what I need. I need to plug my MacBook in. But I'm so ready. Oh, I think I was showing Ruth before you had gotten on, but I don't know. I can't remember if I showed in the coaching session or not. But okay, Ethereum's the blue line all-time high, and it's obviously resistance because this is all-time high in 2017. Not all-time high anymore. We have a new one which is like 1476 that we crossed within the last week. It was like a few days ago, 3 days ago. So now it looks like we bounced, so we kind of staying stagnant just under. And then on Bitcoin, when we had done that, so this was 27, the blue line 2017's all-time high. And look we bounced off. We stayed stagnant under a little bit, and then when we finally broke it, just sent it. So let me go to weekly so you can see the comparison. So yeah, there's that high, 2017. So Ethereum looks like this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, yo.
Close.
And have you heard of DeFi yet?
I've heard. Is it a coin or is it like just a term? Because I've heard the
Term. Yeah. So
decentralized finance.
it's like it's a type of crypto. It's basically decentralized finance is what it stands for. And anything done in finance at all, from insurance, banking, money transfers, contracts, all that. There are different coins or companies, but they're not companies, just services because they're all decentralized. No one owns them. It's all ran by code and they follow the rules and the laws of the code. So DeFi is huge. Well, all of DeFi is going to be like, that's our world systems are going to be run off of DeFi in the next 20, 30 plus years ish, maybe less, because that's going to get rid of all banks, all fraud, all the human element, all the negative things that happen because humans are running things. Gets rid of all of it. Well, DeFi is, it's like the new thing of this bull run. It is all built on Ethereum. All built on Ethereum. So that's beautiful to me because that's even more reason for Ethereum to run up. So anyways, I'm in some DeFi coins that like insurance coins and just stuff that will pop off. But yeah, I mean, as soon as Ethereum starts running, Bitcoin started running up because it ran up because a bunch of people bought it, of course, but it started to make news. And now all these people who are like, I want to buy Bitcoin, want to get in Bitcoin. Well, they get into Bitcoin and then they start to research the other cryptocurrencies. Well, Ethereum is number 2. And so then it's just going to keep moving on down. The money's going to slowly filter down into the other things. But yeah, anyways, good trades recently. I know I made a silver trade like earlier this week. I only have really been trading on the live streams just because I'm like all my time is going into course really and coaching. I'm not coaching, I'm working on the course and that's finally done complete by this weekend. So I'll put a lot more time into trading. I probably will increase the live streams too from 2 days to maybe like 3 days a week. So yeah,
that would be sweet.
We did a last live stream. We popped off a UJ, I think, trade. No, UJ is what we're in right now, right?
Damn, silver's popping off on the 15-minute.
Let's check it out. Yeah, look at, we're getting a bounce. Okay, so potentially could be a trade, but right now on the 5-minute, I'm seeing we're hitting resistance of this bearish candle, this top level here. So let's see what happens. But this same thing on the 5-minute. This is that retest of the moving average. Beautiful retest. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. Yeah, so same thing with the 15-minute. Because of like I see this pattern pretty often. What I would do is what I mean by this pattern is where we run up, we have a good little run upwards or downwards. In this case, upwards, and then we have a strong candle that goes in the opposite direction. Usually, that's the sign that we'll get some sideways action and retest this red moving average, this red line here. We haven't gone over this in coaching yet, but soon. Yeah, so once we retest this red line on the Bollinger Bands, then that's our signal to get in. So you can see here on the 5-minute, good example of like how that happened. You know on the higher time, you want to see it on the higher time frame because higher time frame is where you're more likely to keep running, a lot farther. So yeah, so 15-minute.
So are those?
Sorry, go ahead.
Are those blue lines that you've got set, those indicators? Are those the Bollinger Bands are those indicating like the volume being traded or? Yeah,
so both. It's a weighted average, and it does go off of volume exactly. Volume a little bit. I'm sorry, more so the moving average price, what the average price is doing in relation to each other. So, and this goes off of the closing price. So we can see what's called a Bollinger squeeze. Like I said, we're going to go over this way more in depth in coaching. It's going to be next week. But I might actually make a U-turn, dude. I might do a little bit today. We'll see. Anyways, the Bollinger Squeeze shows that there's not much movement, and as you can clearly see, like the candles, I mean, we can draw some lines, but they're not really moving far, right? As compared to in their little range, like here broke under, but this like little range here versus how strong they moved here. So this squeeze where the bands are close together signifies that we're going to have a volatile move incoming. So here on the 15-minute, like, I mean, very clearly showed we had the squeeze that was going on for a while, and we had that volatile move, strong movement upward. So what it does, so this red line is the moving average, and like I said, these are just weighted off of that moving average based off of both volume and off of what the close prices are of each candle in relation and distance to each other. So it really just helps to make things clear. Like in the end, price action is king, always, or queen, whatever. Price action is always the number one reason that I'm making a decision. So what the shapes of the candles are doing, what the sizes, what the wicks are. But when we overlay, in this case, Bollinger Bands, which is like number one indicator that I use, it makes the picture just a little bit more clear. You know, we can see, let me just show an example. So let's say, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, honestly, we don't see a crazy good reason to enter. Maybe, but really this candle, we get our engulfing, and that's a good sign of, and this is on the 5 minute. That's a good sign that we're going to head upward. But when you put the Bollinger Bands on there, it just makes the picture so much more clear where you can see, okay, we broke above this moving average just a little bit, just barely, and then we tested it, and we have the strong squeeze, and we're kind of already in like a little bit of an uptrend that we made some newer highs, you know, local highs, right? So lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And then we started getting higher highs, higher high, higher high. So yeah, I mean, it just makes the picture more clear for sure. So a powerful tool is to just play the bounce when it moves up above the moving average, the middle line, the red line, and then you get a bounce off of it. So this is on the 5 minute, right? This would have been a little bit harder to catch, but we moved up, we bounced off the top, and then we came and we bounced off the bottom, or the middle line, I should say. And that's a strong wick on the bottom as well. Like that's a beautiful sign to get in. And then I play the retest with this all the time. So yeah, kind of a long explanation, but the retest, if we go up to this strong bearish or strong bullish move here, this is a 4 hour. Now you'll always get a retest eventually. So on the 4 hour here, we see that we bounced off of the bottom band. Zoom in. Bounced off the bottom band, broke upward, retested. And as soon as we retested this middle line, boom, shot up. Now, if we're trading swing trade, you know, trading off the 4 hour, it would have been a while, like days, until we got our retest. But see, we got another retest. And boom, we headed up from there. Retested. This one didn't last, but let's see what happened. We walked away from our trade. Sorry to cut off just in the middle of something there. But let's see, 15 minutes. Oh, tight. Okay, we're pretty well into profit now. This is the trade I made earlier. It took a while, but that was easy. Yeah, and that's going down. So in this case, I'm going to move my stop loss above the last, not the last 5 minute, but the one before that. So like right here, 104.349. Let me get it. Sorry, hopefully I didn't like cut off too early when I was explaining that. I just got the notification, so I wanted to check the trade. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Bollinger Bands. Oh yeah, this is pretty juicy, pretty good. Like continuation looking super solid. We got 4 minutes till 15-minute close. And we've closed under the line, so we can for sure plan for that. Now, as soon as this 15-minute closes, actually, let's see. 104.336. What does that look like on this? 104. Honestly, I feel pretty good about moving it to 104.33. I'd say 104.338, 339. Four, 339. And I did a 3 lot on this trade, which depending on account size, that's kind of a decent size trade. Risk management, so we have to calculate out. That's where I'm going back and forth. What I planned on, Brian, tonight, going over tonight was, proper risk management and like a trading plan. But I actually still think that I'll go over that, and then we'll do Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, because I've just been seeing you like during your trades just with this, and I've got the moving average. What's the technical term for it? The moving
average.
Moving average, yeah. Is that yeah? So I've got that set up, but yeah, I was just wondering about the Bollingers.
Yeah, so moving average is good by itself, but Bollinger Bands, this is what I use. Like I have on here some different moving averages that every once in a great while I'll check them out. I'll throw them on just to see what's happening on a higher time frame. But that's like 2% of the time or less. So most of the time, this is what my chart looks like, and this is how I trade. It's easy, and as we're getting into trading, and like if you start to explore trading view, you're gonna be like, yo, there's all these indicators, dude, like let's try them all. And paralysis by analysis. So one thing, like with me, I've been there and I've done it all. I've tried so many indicators. One time I remember I went through like a couple months where I was just going through this list, and I would just search random letters, because there's so many indicators out there. People can make their own indicators, and I would just go and just try everyone and just see like, okay, like how does it work? Can I make this work? And it's just a waste of time. So I'm not going to ever tell anyone like, hey, don't do this, don't try this. Like, but I'm going to tell you like, hey, look, I've been there. I've tried 90% of it, and this is what works. So having a clean chart, price action, and some Bollinger Bands, but mostly price action. So I know I have this target here, and looks like it's definitely going to get hit. Nothing big, but I'm up like 150 US right now if I were to close now. So we shall see. But I kind of, yeah, obviously we're hitting support here, and it looks like we're bouncing up a little bit. So let's just kind of see what happens. But I kind of want to leave this for more macro, more just like a little bit more long term. Yeah, because based off of even the hourly, that has potential to go down here. But we'll see. We'll kind of see how this closes. Because if it were to close just like this, then I'm gonna just get out and take my little bit of money. $30 seconds. See, I can't even do that. I'm sorry. I said I would get out. It is gonna probably close pretty strong like that. But based off of the 15-minute, let's see. Let's just see where it closes. I'm not gonna make a decision until it closes. There it is. Yeah, I'm staying in. Okay, reason being because we lined up, but the bottom bodies are what count the most, and we did close under. Now we have this strong wick below the 15, and it honestly, it could be a mistake to not just take my money and run right now. I'm gonna say that. And sorry, I moved my stop loss down here, by the way. So risk is heavily moved downward, but the wick went a little bit lower than this last one, showing that there's some weakness at that level now. And the body, I mean, it's barely like so close to not being closed below. But this was the last, last low. So like I said, since the wick went lower just a tiny bit, and the body closed a tiny bit below the bodies of these. Let's see if I line it up, just barely. That shows that this move is stronger. This downward movement is stronger than this upward movement because it overtook this upward movement. So yeah, we're getting a little short-term bounce, but 334. My stop loss is actually at 339, so it's like right there. So could be a mistake, but I still feel good about it. Now on the short-term time frames, that's something where right when you're like when this closed, like I'd be out 90% of the time. But this live stream, I'm gonna bring it to an end pretty soon, and I'm gonna let this trade kind of run through the day and see. And I'm gonna set my take profit. Show you where I'll set it. Oh, actually, wait, let's check that 30-minute. Yeah, that looks so good to go down. Oh, it looks so good. This is a good trade. I just don't have the time today to be watching it all day, but I'm gonna set it based off of the hourly. In this case, too, though, it would be kind of smart if you're gonna walk away to set your stop loss also based off of the hourly. But I'm gonna keep my risk down. I'm not gonna move my stop loss. Like when that's a rule for me that when I move my stop loss, it's only in the direction of increasing again or decreasing my risk or increasing my profit. I don't ever move my stop loss the opposite way. So meaning I'm not going to move it up. So I've already moved it. But my target, I see the next. So we would just go and find the next support. Since price is going down, we want it to bounce off of support. And I can kind of see, I don't know, I would say minimum there because it was resistance. And then also down here, just because it's a little range. So what I'll probably do is just play it safe. And I'll probably put my target right there. Just a little bit above this level. And that's 104.194. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, it might take some time to play out, but I feel good about that. I would say if I were to redo this trade, I wouldn't move my stop loss. I would have just kept it up here, especially because I'm letting it run for the macro, for the longer time frame. I just think there's more money to be made in it. So it's moving a little slow because we're later in the morning now of the New York Open, which is when we get the most volume. So New York Open, most volume, and then I think second would be London Open. But so the next market open though will be this afternoon, late afternoon. It's going to be the Asian Open, and so we'll usually see things continue. Usually the morning is a good time to find your trade, and if you're going to let a trade run through the day, set it up, and then usually you'll get some good continuation throughout the rest of the day. So anyway, yeah, looking good. I'm like at break even now, so partially regretting not taking money out. Like I said, I still feel good about it. It was such a small win. Like if I would have pulled out, that I'd rather just let it run and see what happens. So cool. Well, in the meantime, I am gonna get rolling, but before I go, is there any questions, any charts anyone wants to run through? Anyone want to share a chart?
I have so many different questions, but I don't think that's for right now, dude.
Yeah, no problem. So write your questions down. Let's see. In a couple days, this weekend, yeah, this weekend I'll have some time. Also early next week, you and I can get on something on a call.
Probably early next week would be better for me.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll chat it
that would
out.
be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
we'll stay in touch, but
Awesome.
cool.
Thanks so much for today. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. Hope it helped a bit. It sounds like it made more questions, but
It did, but it's cool. Like I said, like earlier to you, it's just a matter of like immersing myself in this stuff, and the more I absorb over time, I'll start to understand it a lot better. So
for sure.
and then yeah, with your help, even better.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm gonna do this forever. Between this and
Yeah, cool, man.
treats, but yeah.
And a question with that, like, yeah, I mean, we just need to immerse ourselves in this more. Do you have any tips for, scheduling, like when to be looking at charts and analyzing how long to do it for? Because, like, dude, when I first started talking to you and coaching, like, dude, I spent 2 days just looking at my computer screen. I'm like, there's for sure there's extremes on both ends, like not doing enough and then doing it all the time. So I think it's probably just finding that balance. But
so the key, first off, I would say, imagine yourself if you were at the level, of understanding and of competence in trading, that like just the ultimate level that you could imagine yourself being at. And so, if that's like where you make full-time income, you make 7-8 figures a year, what would you want your schedule to be? And so for me, looking at it like at that level, I mean, if I could make 2 or 3 trades in a year that made me 7 figures, like that'd be cool, and that's all. Like that's all I have to do. Look at charts, like great. Now, there are people that do that and they make massive bets, and that's how they trade. Learning it though, that's not the way. Definitely not the way. So, but the key is to kind of work our way up there. So spending a lot more time in the long run, spending way more time, like you said, there's an extreme. It will burn us out. However, in the beginning, and when I say in the beginning, I'm talking first 2 to 3 months, like I would shoot for minimum, like if you can, spend like 2 hours a day looking at charts, like minimum. And the timing, I personally choose, I think the best time is in around New York Open, because that's when we get the most volume. The most volume comes in at New York Market Open. I have.
So what time is that exactly? Zella, how long ago was that? I'm just trying to work out the time difference.
An hour ago.
Yeah, I think just an hour ago. And so if you can get on the charts like
okay, yeah,
like 30 minutes before New York Open and then kind of trade into it, that's good. And then I find that by like noon Eastern time, so in about an hour and 20 minutes from now, most movement kind of dies. So yeah, you said it was 10, so it's what? It's like 11:30 now where you are, right? Around there, 11:40?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like your time, like 9:30 p.m. to, maybe 11:30. So
yeah,
here.
Okay.
That's probably like the best window. And so Brian, for you, like I've been there. I was in Vegas before here, so getting up pretty early. So if you can, that's the best time. I will say though, like I've traded a lot in the Asian Open, not as much volume, but that's in in the afternoon for us. That would be at 5. I believe it's 5 p.m. 4 to 5, 5 to 6. That'd be 6 p.m. Eastern, and so 3 p.m. Pacific. So I'm sorry. My brain's. I haven't had anything to eat or coffee yet today, so doing the math right now.
I think it's like 12, 13 hours difference between.
Okay. 12. Yeah. Okay. So
and
easy. Yeah. Like about 13 probably. Yeah. So yeah, in that case, it would be your morning for sure for the Asian Open.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, 2 hours a day, and I will say I have like the more, the merrier in the beginning because you're looking to just get things down, get to really overstand the charts, really like see the patterns that are going on. So the more time, the better. But and I've been there where I've spent, like you said, Brian, you were on it for like 2 days. Like in August, Silver was running. I was spending like 3 or 4 hours a day, just for like 2 weeks straight. So much time. But it's because it was running, and I made enough money though in that time where I like took like a week off after that, and then I went back to like 1 to 2 hours a day. So I just recommend staying consistent, just 1 to 2 hours a day minimum, and just keep putting that time in, and then spending the 1 to 2 hours a day on the charts, and then if you can, another hour or two studying. But yeah, stay consistent. New York Open is the best. But I also, sorry, there's one more thing. There's a live stream created by a guy. He does it every single morning, and so Wicks don't lie. So the mornings that I'm not on, like, you can check his out. He's on YouTube, and he's awesome. Raja Banks. He's been trading longer than I have for sure, but he's a good one to study, and he's got a lot of cool stuff. So
does he go live on YouTube, or does he have like a Zoom?
Yeah, he does YouTube live.
YouTube. Sick. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Check it out for sure.
Yeah, he's rad. Another good one to watch. But just intake as much as possible, for sure.
And write those questions down for sure.
Yeah, and as time goes on, like what I teach in both the course and the coaching, really being self-aware. So you both are, I would say, at a, not to compare people, but a higher caliber of being self-aware than others that I coach or talk to. And so I think you can start to build that now or watch that now. But if you're at that point of like, I don't know, like you're looking at a chart and you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Like I can't, like my brain is, be done. Take a break for a day. Like it's okay. Give your time to let the knowledge assimilate, as anything, because it can be easy to obsess over trading for sure. I've done it. So anyway,
there's a lot of information.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, AMC is so volatile. We were just looking at like 10 minutes ago. It was at $13, and look at that. It's $7.
Wow.
So
yeah,
Robinhood, dude, shut it down.
My plans for this morning were totally shot.
Yeah, dang, dude. You're gonna make $1 million off AMC. Now nothing.
To the moon, baby. To the moon. All right.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say blessings, but abundance, prosperity. You guys have a good rest of your day or night.
Thank you. And to you guys.
Much love.
Take it easy.